Alright friends, Mr. E here, and today tackling a very simple, very effective, very straightforward way to play Ogryn that I guaranteed will produce results in even the highest tier of games. It is also, honestly, a pretty dang close to meta build, but it's really simple to learn. Ogryn doesn't have a whole lot of tricks, and any tricks he does have aren't on this build. This is a build that is all about Unga Bunga, bash the enemies until they can't see straight. And that is, as you saw in the intro here, really what the build is about. We want to control the enemies. We want to make their lives a living hell, okay? They're going to be trying to get to ourselves, get to our allies, but no. They're going to be laying on the floor. They're going to be crowd controlled. They're going to be torn apart at every juncture, and that's just so fun to be able to do that for the team. So if that sounds like something that's in your playstyle, in your wheelhouse, well then let's stick around and see what the build is like. So we're starting here with the Battle Maul and Slab Shield, a very effective weapon for the Ogryn. Now, I was kind of hesitant to put the intro clip in there, you know, showing just blocking with the shield, because I don't want you to get the wrong impression here. This shield should not be used as a defensive object. You should very, very seldom use it in that way. It's okay to use it for a second if you need to slam that shield down and get a little bit of your stamina back, or slam the shield down and wait a second or two before your taunt comes up, or in this instance on the screen there, every single one of those enemies is melee, therefore there's no way they can get past my shield, and I'm just buying time for my team, letting them melt everything down. That's all okay. But don't be the Ogryn who's literally just taunting and then stopping right there and being like, okay guys, now you kill everything. I'll taunt them. That's not the way to play it, man. The way you play this shield is bold and aggressive, okay? We're going in, we're landing the haymaker with the M1, and then we're doing it again, and then we're doing it again. And this is really the skill you'll need to learn with this weapon, is just over and over using the heavy one attack, heavy one, and then as soon as you're delivered the blow, start holding block. You'll bring the shield back like this, but if you can cancel it at the right time, you can actually just chain and keep doing that over and over. And this is your most effective way to deal damage against pretty much everything, because it stacks tons of bleed stacks. It has incredibly powerful stagger. As you can see, we can lay out a mauler in one hit and put him on the floor in two. Yeah, there you go. He's dead from there, right? So that's the power of the shield, plus all the blocking stuff. It's all great. Now, the talents here, or the setup, minimum defenses, which seems crazy, but defenses just aren't important. We want the offense here. Now, flak armored and carapace, because these are the most healthy types of enemies, the ones who won't die in one direct M1 heavy to the face. Then for perks, for blessings, brutal momentum, just really good for that headshot damage, of course. And the second blessing on here is Skull Crusher, the single most powerful blessing in the game right now. Super effective on everything. Just as long as you can get it staggered and hit it while it's staggered, you are going to absolutely obliterate them. And the fortunate thing for this shield is this also counts as hitting when you are shoving with the shield, which is something we should be doing a lot with this thing. It's really, really good. So watch me hit this guy in the head here. Watch. Okay, so that's how much damage we do just with the regular M1, right? But let's go ahead and just give him a shove or two. Put him on the ground and boom. Okay, so yeah, you can see the difference that Skull Crusher makes there, and that applies to any enemies we shove. So imagine that your entire team is focusing on these targets, and we're stacking that Skull Crusher on them. We are going to massively increase our team's damage overall if we're using this effectively. The ranged weapon here is the Grenade Gauntlet. Just a really simple, straightforward, solid secondary weapon here. Has good braced stats, so there's a good reason to brace it and get steady grip, tons of toughness off of that. But also, when we're bracing it, we're stacking pinpointing target, so we can be certain that that first grenade we're firing is going to kill the target we're landing it on. That's why we're going for flak armored and maniacs. Flak armored applies to our gunner type enemies, and maniacs is most of our cast of specials, like all those gunners, all those bombers and stuff. Those guys are all maniacs. Flamers are maniacs. And yeah, this weapon is just very good. Nice little disruptor. Pretty accurate. Pretty fast to pull out. And bracing it is fairly easy and quick as well. So nice secondary, good ammo economy. No real other notes there. And I also did Glory Hunter on here, by the way, because there's not really a good secondary perk for it, or blessing for it. Glory Hunter is just a good way to get a little bit extra toughness if you need it. Now down here for Curios, you'll want to do triple toughness Curios. Then we will put extra revive speed and combat ability regeneration on all three of these. We need to have our revive speed. The Ogryn is one of the better resers in the game, because he can just trade his HP directly for getting an ally up, because he can't be knocked out of that animation regeneration, but like other characters can. He has to be bodily, like shoved, like thrown by a plague owner or something to be knocked out of those animations. So he can force a revive if he needs to by trading his own blood and sweat and tears for it. So we'll take revive speed there to get those allies at faster. Combat, because our combat ability is like kind of the focus of the build, the taunt. And then finally, I do 2 damage resistance for gunners and 1 to bombers, because those sort of enemies can get locked onto you and do a lot of damage. And if you can cut that damage by 40%, you actually become very, very resilient to one of the more dangerous enemies out there. And then we'll come over here and look at the talent tree. We're going to do Steady Grip, which gets multiplied by everything in Feel No Pain and by Stay Close, which means we ultimately end up replenishing a little bit more than 20% of our toughness per second while we're bracing our weapon. A great way to replenish your toughness when you are not like in range of enemies to melee them. But if you are, you should be meleeing them and hitting them with this, with Smash them. As I said before, we really just want to be chaining M1s over and over and over again, those heavy ones. Then we'll go for the rock here. The rock is being chosen because the rock is the perfect counter to those stupid fucking mutants. I hate mutants. Mutants, the one thing you can say when you're playing Ogryn is if a mutant spawns in, it is going to go for you. It's like destined. So just have that rock at the ready as soon as you hear a mutant and hurl it into his face. Now you can also use the mutant, or the, sorry, not the mutant, but you can use the rock to mess with bosses as well, because bosses, if you hit them in the head, they will actually get staggered by this. So yeah, you can knock a chaos spawn or whatever away, even a demon host. And yeah, it's just really great to be able to chain crowd controls that can knock back bosses. You can do that, then you can do that, right? You can dog walk this boss halfway across the map if you got 4 rocks and a taunt on you. So you can really bully these guys, and that's what the build is all about. Then we'll come down here and go payback time, soften them up, pumped up, and here we are at Loyal Protector. Loyal Protector taunt ability, right? Get a ton of your toughness back, and then go again to make the cooldown super short. This is a very, very powerful ability. Remember that it makes everything forced to attack you, so position yourself away from the enemies, like I did in the intro clip, or away from your allies rather, like in the intro clip, so your allies can get a full, like, open shot. Don't like taunt and then stand right next to your allies, right? Drag everything away so that your allies get more space to play in and do their damage. And then we'll come down here, we'll go slam, and on the left here we're taking Strike True, which is more melee weak spot strength, which stacks with our lovely talent or our blessing on our shield. And then batter here, this is another massive way that we do our damage. 16 max stacks of bleed. Most targets aren't surviving past 2 hits though, because even 8 stacks of bleed when you have 2 stacks of Skull Crusher on there is a lot. It really starts to eat their health away. But yeah, especially on like more armored targets like these guys, you can really see the amount of damage that those bleeds end up doing. It's like a free hit in there every 2 hits. And yeah, bleeds are super good. It helps us clear hordes too. Then over here we got Brutish Strength. Okay, so Brutish Strength, that is how we can provide a ton of value against more armored targets. Now, if you're not playing at like, you know, Havoc difficulty, maybe you can consider going for this talent, Frenzied Blows, instead. But on Havoc, when there's a lot of metal around, Brutish Strength is a massive multiplier against especially Crushers and Carapace armored enemies. So watch this. This is how much damage I can deal with this Crusher. Watch how fast I can kill him. I'm gonna go as hard as I can, and I messed up there, but you know what I mean, right? So yeah, we can kill him in like 5 hits to the head, and it takes a little bit. But what if I give him some little brittleness first? And hopefully you can already see the massive difference there, right? So imagine that multiplicative factor for everybody in the team. 40% brittleness for everybody else is like a 10%-ish damage increase on most other types of enemies, and then for Crushers, it's quite a bit. It's like 40-50%. So yeah, definitely apply that as often as you can. There's plenty of places where you can sneak a little push into your attack animations with the shield, and pushes are always good, just to kind of throw one in there like that, right? You can squeeze them in while you're moving about. And remember, every 8 seconds, thanks to this talent down here, we're gonna have a really massive push with no pushover. So you should be using it at least once every 8 seconds to like make everything around you lay out on the ground. Then we have an option, by the way, between Bone Breakers or Stay Close. If you want to go for more defensive or you want to go more offensive, you can choose which aura you want. Over here on the left, we go melee damage and Delight and Destruction, because we get tons of bleeding enemies to give us damage reduction. Bruiser for cooldown. Attention Seeker to keep stuff taunted. No Hurting Friends and Hard Knocks, even more damage amplification for everybody on the team. And then finally, Feel No Pain here, which is going to give us more than 50% extra toughness replenishment from all of our toughness regenerating sources, and the ability to get flat toughs back and knock stuff down when we start to get focus fired. And that's the whole build. So it's really simple. I'll show you some more gameplay of it at like in action. If you like being the centerpiece of the team, but not necessarily being the DPS carry, well, then this might be a great build for you. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
You need chapter. Ask an Ogryn.